Tonight and every night I'll be broadcasting to you live from the Sonoma TV Control Tower. Sonoma TV, your home.
July 16th, Saturday, Arnold Field in Sonoma, California. The date and the site for tonight's CCL North contest between the Walnut Creek Crawdads and the Sonoma Stompers. Welcome in everybody to the DVB broadcast. Absolutely beautiful, completely blue, and should get a nice crowd here tonight at Arnold Field, home of the Stompers. The Crawdads are hoping they can have success tonight, something that has eluded them over the past week. Walnut Creek is just 1-6 in their last 7 games and 3-7 in their last 10. The lone win in the last 7 was this past Tuesday against Solano. That was a 16-3 shellacking that the Crawdads pulled off against the Mudcats. However, since then they have lost 3 in a row to the Mudcats, the Prune Packers, and the Healdsburg. The Healdsburg Prune Packers and the Lincoln Potters yesterday. So Healdsburg was on Thursday, Lincoln on Friday. During this losing streak, manager Brant Cummings' squad has been outscored 22-3. As a result, the race for second place in the CCL North has gotten a lot tighter. It's definitely heated up. The Walnut Creek Crawdads, something they were looking to do. With only 12 games remaining and all of those games coming against in-division foes, it is make or break time for Walnut Creek, who are trying to make the CCL playoffs for the first time under the leadership of manager Brant Cummings, in front of the tough summer in their first season in the CCL and haven't won a division game in a week. Sonoma is just 11-23 this summer and 7-18 in CCL North play, leaving 11 games. They're leaving 11 games on the board, really. They're 11 games back of Healdsburg and in last place in the division. So the mission is clear for the Crawdads tonight. Win this game, snap a 3-game losing streak, and try to finish out the regular season strong, and hopefully when we return here on the Walnut Creek. Welcome back here to Sonoma, California, Arnold Field, along with Austin Oda. Just getting ready for first pitch, the starting lineups, as we promised. The Crawdads, who are on the road tonight. The batting order looks pretty good. Coleman Schmidt going to lead things off. He's in center field. Tyson Corio, the second baseman, batting second. Ryan Ellis over at third once again today. He's batting third. Brian Duroff, the cleanup hitter, is playing first base. Tavares Tears in left field, batting in the middle of the order in fifth. Casey Cummings in right field, batting sixth. Andrew McKenna, the catcher, batting seventh. Joe Barnhart, the designated hitter, batting eighth. Jude Putz, the shortstop, batting ninth. And the pitcher on the mound this evening for Walnut Creek is going to be Mr. Hollis Fanning, the man out of Tennessee. Comes in with a 1-1 record overall, a 3.22 ERA, 19 strikeouts to just 3 walks for the Stompers. It's going to be Tucker McEnroe in right, batting first. Nick Mueller, the left fielder, batting second. The shortstop, Govea, who's been a mainstay over at short for the Stompers this summer, is going to be batting third. Colton Lamano batting fourth. He's the catcher. Alex Leopard, the center fielder, batting fifth. Cameron Joasis, the first baseman, batting sixth. Davis Kopp, the designated hitter, batting seventh. Mikey Bell over at third, batting eighth. And Reese Kent, the second baseman for Sonoma, batting ninth. Their starter tonight will be the lefty Nick Larkin, who is 1-3 with a 6.11 ERA. This will be Larkin's fifth start for the Stompers, and he'll look to make it a good one and try to get that ERA down a few ticks here, as we are just ready for first pitch, getting there. First pitch was scheduled for 6:05, as we have some Crawdads players trying to wave on the camera. So it's going to be Hollis Fanning versus Noah Larkin. Game supposed to start at 6:05. Just trying to get underway here. There is a Little League team here tonight, this evening in Sonoma.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, we had a Little League team in Danville yesterday, Austin. That
was fun. It was good to see some fans out at Monte Vista. I was imploring the Crawdads listeners to come watch a game, and maybe that didn't come true directly, but
that's okay.
Yesterday was pretty packed. It was about as packed as we've seen it all year.
It was definitely the best crowd that the Crawdads have had at Monte Vista High School in Danville, California. Great place to watch baseball. Still some home games left this summer, so if you're in the area, please come on down to Danville. Love to have you there. Got popcorn, snow cones, some great merchandise out there for sale near the stands, and also just a really pretty place to be, nestled in the foothills there off of Stone Valley, right near 680. So just a great place for baseball. The Crawdads are going to be back at home tomorrow. So just a one-game road trip here in Sonoma. Did have kind of a weird two-game set earlier this past week against Solano, 2 straight games at Vanden High School. And the Crawdads, other than that win, have not really had much positives for them over the past 10 games. I mean, just 3-7 and 1-6 in their last 7. So they're going to try to really shake things up tonight, get back on track with a win. Every game so important as the season is coming to a close. There's only 12 games remaining. They're all against CCL North Division foes, and the Crawdads have an opportunity to either make up some ground on first place Healdsburg, keep pace, or if they're not able to be successful, they can really lose a lot more ground as well. Lincoln is right there, just 2 games behind Walnut Creek and Solano. Even though the Crawdads have been successful against Solano this summer, Solano is just 6.5 games back of first place Healdsburg, so 2.5 games back of the Walnut Creek Crawdads. So that's kind of how the division is shaping up right now. Healdsburg looks like they're going to take first place no matter what. The Crawdads could make a race of it, but it's going to be very, very tough, and they got to start with a win here tonight. So we'll have first pitch for you as well as the national anthem when we return here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Well, still waiting here for first pitch. There are some ceremonies going on right now at Arnold Field, home of the Sonoma Stompers. They're just announcing some of the players who were lucky enough to be selected for the 2022 CCL Showcase game down on the field there at the MLB Urban Youth Academy in Compton, California on July 20th. For the Stompers, Alex Leopard, Alex Govea, Dicky Garcia, and Orlando Leone. Those are the 5 selections for the Stompers. The Crawdads also have a few selections of their own, which is great. Coleman Schmidt, Brian DeRoff, Ryan Ellis, Ryan Brome, Hollis Fanning, and Gabe Tanner. So the Crawdads very well represented when they go down to Compton, California for that All-Star game. We should be getting the national anthem here in just moments. Always an extended pregame show here in Sonoma, as now the Little League team is going to be honored here. Very busy week here in Sonoma. Got a lot of festivals going on. You got the Run and Sip, the half marathon from Napa to Sonoma. That's today and tomorrow, so very busy time here around downtown.
I'd like to introduce the Bears here because
But right now, the Little League team being introduced, and we're going to take another break, step aside, and try to bring you first pitch if it finally does happen here from Sonoma.
Our men and women proudly serve our country at home and overseas with the singing of our national anthem.
So proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming. The rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, came through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? The land of the free and the home of the
Thank you. And God bless America.
The national anthem in the books here in Sonoma, California at Arnold Field. The starting lineups all announced. If you're just joining us now, missed the pregame. The Crawdads, Coleman Schmidt leading things off. He's in center field. Then Tyson Corio, the second baseman. Ryan Ellis at third, batting third. Brian DeRoth batting cleanup. He's the first baseman. Kavares Tears, the left fielder, batting fifth. Casey Cummings in right, batting sixth. Andrew McKenna, the catcher, is batting seventh. Joe Barnhart, the designated hitter, batting eighth. Jude Putz, the shortstop, batting ninth. Hollis Fanning on the bump tonight for the Crawdads, and the Dads are going to be facing Noah Larkin out on the mound, who's just finishing for both the Stompers and the Crawdads this evening. 5 from Sonoma, 6 from your Walnut Creek Crawdads, and then also a Little League team. The Bears were honored here as well, and the first pitch was thrown out by one of those fine young gentlemen who is a part of that Little League team. And we are just about to get underway on this Saturday, July 16th. A beautiful day today, 88 degrees. And the Crawdads looking to snap a 3-game losing streak. The lineup for the Stompers: Tucker McEnroe, right fielder, batting first. Nick Mueller, the left fielder, batting second. Alex Govea, who we regularly see at shortstop for Sonoma, is batting third. Colton Lamano, the catcher tonight, batting fourth. Alex Leopard in center field, batting fifth. We've seen him do a little bit of everything, pitching included. Cameron Joasis, the first baseman, batting sixth. Davis Kopp, the designated hitter, batting seventh. Mikey Bell, the third baseman, batting eighth. And Reese Kent batting ninth for the Stompers. But the Crawdads are on the road tonight. They come in with a record of 19-14 overall. 12-9 in CCL North play. They are in second place in the division, 4 games behind Healdsburg, 2 games ahead of third place Lincoln, and 2.5 games ahead of fourth place Solano. So trying to at least keep pace tonight are the Crawdads. And big Coleman Schmidt, who had his 8th home run of the summer yesterday against the Lincoln Potters, is just getting ready to step into the batter's box. Want to welcome in Austin Oda. Both myself and Mr. Oda will have the call tonight, all 9 innings, although it could go a lot longer.
It's gone longer here before.
That June 9th game went
a month.
A month. That was the longest game in baseball history. It's right by the swinging Schmidt. The count 0-1. First pitch at 6:17, so about 12 minutes late, but the game now started. Larkin has his sign from the catcher, Lamonto, as Schmidt fouls this out of play. The count 0-2. The defense for Sonoma: Colt Lamonto behind the plate. He's the catcher. Joasis over at first. Kent at second. Alex Govea, the shortstop. Mikey Bell at third. And then the outfield from left to right, it's Mueller, Leopard, and Tucker McEnroe in the right field corner. The 0-2 pitch to Schmidt, does not mind facing Sonoma. 1-2 pitch, this is fouled away.
Go ahead. Make my day.
So the count's still a ball and 2 strikes. Coleman Schmidt hitting .363 with those 8 home runs and 28 RBIs. Going to see a pitch here. He drives this into right center. Moving back is McEnroe, and he has it for out number 1. Good swing there by Coleman Schmidt, but it's a long gap to try to find the wall at. Marked at .335 over there by the Ernie Mangentini Memorial scoreboard. And you think it's probably deeper, Austin, to the left of that scoreboard.
Yeah, I think that even that 345 is selling it a little short. I think that's probably closer to 350, 360, and then out to dead right center, probably up around 380, 390.
So here is Tyson Corio, the switch-hitting Corio, batting righty against the lefty Larkin. The first pitch to Corio, and he takes a fastball high, the count 1-0.
But it was good to see Coleman Schmidt drive the ball the other way. It's been something he's been actively making a point to do recently.
Corio hitting .247, a home run and 8 RBIs. That lone home run happened here over the right field fence. The 1-0 pitch, and Corio takes lone in here. The count 2-0. So Corio ahead. He's batting pretty high up in the lineup tonight. Usually see him in the lower third, but tonight batting second, right behind Schmidt. On deck is Ryan Ellis, the 2-0 pitch. This misses in. And the count 3-0.
Of course, we have seen Corio bat in the 5 spot a couple times recently.
That has not been an issue for the Crawdads recently. Really, the issue has been driving those runners in.
Yeah, Healdsburg the other day, the Dads were unable to score a run, and they had leadoff runners on in 8 of the 9 innings, and that's just, I mean, that's unacceptable.
If you get runners on, especially yesterday when they had bases loaded, nobody out, not able to do the damage that they needed to. They lost 4-2 yesterday against Lincoln. Here's Ryan Ellis hitting .319, 4 home runs, 16 RBIs. He takes a breaking ball for a strike, and the count 0-1 to Ryan Ellis, who's over at third today for the Crawdads. Ellis has been pretty good in terms of drawing walks himself. 21 of them so far. The 0-1 pitch, and this misses low. The count 1-1. That last walk for Corio was his 16th of the summer. 16 walks to 19 strikeouts. Always a wild time here in Sonoma. Looking over to first is Larkin. Now he'll fire, and Corio gets into this, hits it into the same spot that Coleman Schmidt hit his ball, but this one will drop. That's going to be extra bases for Tyson Corio, and the Crawdads will have runners at second and third. Sorry about that. Ryan Ellis. Corio drew the walk. Ellis is at second. Corio now at third. I do apologize.
Ellis just smoked that ball. If you leave a ball up to Ryan Ellis, he's going to take that every single time, and just completely turned on it. He loves that ball at middle in. It's right where he got it. I think maybe if we're at Monte Vista, that ball gets out.
It might. I mean, it's pretty deep over there. There is a light post in play out there in right center. Do apologize. Ellis with a big double. Corio now up to third. And here's Brian DeRoff as this ball is hit right over to Govea, and it's off his glove. One run will score. Govea's got to make that play. That'll be an error on the shortstop, Alex Govea. And the Crawdads lead 1-0.
Really, I just feel bad for Brian DeRoff there because the run's going to come home to
2 home runs, 20 driven in.
They gave him a hit.
You got to be kidding me.
There's a hit on the board.
So DeRoff now 1 for 1.
Not saying I agree with it necessarily, but I'm sure DeRoff will take it.
So an RBI single for Brian DeRoff. Runners at the corners. Ellis over at third. DeRoff at first. Kavares Tears up to bat. He hits this over to the second baseman, Kent, who flips to Govea at second for 1, and they get Kavares at first. Double play to get themselves out of the top of the first. But the Crawdads are able to score a run on an apparent hit by Brian DeRoff.
We'll see about that one.
Yeah, we'll see if there's any kind of conference or overruling of that. But as it stands now, Brian DeRoff able to drive in a run with an RBI single, was able to score choreo. They also got a big double from Ryan Ellis. So a good start for the Crawdads. It is 1-0. However, yesterday they had a 1-0 lead early and could not add on to it until late. So 1-0 Walnut Creek here in Sonoma. Bottom of the first coming up when we return here on the Walnut Creek Crawdads streaming network. Welcome back here to Sonoma, California. Hollis Fanning going to be on the mound for the Crawdads. About to get our first look at Mr. Fanning tonight. So that hit by DeRoff, it stands as a hit. He has an RBI single tonight. He's 1 for 1. That would have been, if it was ruled an error, it's a hit in the book, so that's what we're going to go with. And it is 1-0 Crawdads. Right now, bottom of the first, about to begin. Hollis Fanning has been very good for the Crawdads. His best outing of the season was against Sonoma. He threw 7 shutout innings against Sonoma earlier this summer. And he's just really been just a strike thrower and an innings eater when he has started for the Crawdads. So Fanning comes in 1-1 with a 3.22 ERA. This will be his 4th start and 7th appearance overall. He's thrown 30 2/3 innings, 19 strikeouts to 3 walks. He's given up 30 hits, but you might be thinking, okay, that's a hit an inning, but only giving up 3 walks in those 30 2/3 innings, that's incredible. So Fanning done with his warm-ups here. Getting ready to go.
You know, you mentioned the 3.22 ERA. That looks great in itself, but if you take just his starts, you might remember he got a little rocked coming out of the bullpen in his first couple outings. Take just his starts, his ERA, 1.57.
It's incredible. So he should just be a starter then for the Crawdads.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's found his niche a little bit.
He'll definitely be the guy who you would think gets the ball for that first playoff game if the Crawdads do make it to San Luis Obispo. The pitch here from Fanning, and this is hit on the ground over to DeRoff. Fanning running to first to cover, and he gets the ball from DeRoff for out number 1. So a good way to take care of Tucker McEnroe, who came in batting .257, a home run in 5 games so far. This will be his 15th at bat. No home runs, no RBIs, and Fanning pumps a fastball by the swinging Mueller, and the count 0-1. The 0-1 pitch here from Hollis, and that's outside, as indicated by Dean Potee, the home plate umpire tonight. Stu Raines is over at first, and Brad Murda at third.
Home plate umpire didn't indicate it as much as he quite literally told us.
Yeah, he looked over here and told us. Didn't see a motion with the hand. The 1-1 pitch here to Mueller, and Mueller swings at a ball down below the knees, and the count 1-2. So Fanning, very good at limiting walks. Has a chance for a strikeout here, but misses in the count 2-2. Not a huge inning. All right, that's a strike. Kavares Tears in left. Not right, but in left. Coleman Schmidt in center, and Casey Cummings in right field where Kavares Tears usually is. Oh, here is the 0-2 pitch. And this is fought off. That'll land in the parking lot. The count 0-2. It'll stay that way.
So you mentioned Fanning wanting to show that strikeout stuff a little more. So he usually sits
And Govea hits this into foul territory down the right field line. And heads back into the dugout of the Walnut Creek Crawdads. It is still 1-0 after one. Top of the second coming up. When we return, the Crawdads will be back up to bat. It's going to be Kavares Tears, Casey Cummings, and Andrew McKenna.
Getting off the 8th for the Crawdads, right fielder number 5, Casey Cummings.
Welcome back to Sonoma, California. Casey Cummings leading things off. Cummings, McKenna, and Barnhart. Pitch from Larkin to Cummings. That's in there for a strike. The count 0-1. Do apologize about the video tonight. Going to have maybe some issues trying to get that video streamed to you. We are going to work on that. Hopefully we can get the picture back up and running. The 0-1 pitch, and Cummings fouls this away, and the count 0-2. Casey Cummings hitting 180, no home runs, 3 RBIs in right field tonight. Seen him at third, seen him pitch, now in right field this past week. And the 0-2 pitch, and Cummings checks at it, and it's down in the dirt. The count 1-2. The Crawdads lead 1-0 in the top of the second. And the 1-2 pitch to Cummings, and he swings and misses at a ball down low. So going after definite pitcher's pitch there from Larkin. Cummings strikes out. That's Cummings' 18th strikeout of the summer. Crawdads going to have to get production out of the bottom half of the order. Cummings, McKenna, Barnhart, as well as Jude Putz. Here is Andrew McKenna up to bat, the lefty.
Wine whipper, number 8, Andrew McKenna.
He's hitting 167, no home runs, 4 RBIs. First pitch to McKenna. And this hits the dirt. Count 1-0.
Andrew McKenna, tonight's wine whiffer, as they call it. I think, you know, if there's anyone on this Crawdads team that isn't going to oblige to the pressures of being a wine whiffer, it is Andrew McKenna.
Andrew McKenna not going to be cool with that. This pitch is hit right back to Larkin, who just scoops it up and tosses over to his first baseman, Joasis, for the second out. 2 quick outs here.
Got it. That's fantastic. Now you're on your way.
As
The next clue could be
you can
found
also hear that there's a
Just ask the one who cannot
there's a
declare.
scavenger hunt going on during the middle of the game. Sure, that could probably be a little distracting for not just the players in the box, but also the pitcher who's trying to keep his focus. Is Joe Barnhart in the box now, hitting .211, a home run, 1 RBI. Righty Barnhart takes a first pitch fastball for a strike. The count 0-1.
My question is just, why is that going on mid-game? Why is it not between innings or
during a meeting on the mound.
Sure.
Or, yeah, something going on.
it was mid-at-bat?
The 0-1 pitch to Barnhart, and he hits this into left field, left center, going back. The center fielder, Leopard, and he has it at the warning track right in front of the fence. And Barnhart thought he got all of that ball, but not able to escape Arnold Field. And it is still 1-0 Crawdads. Bottom of the second coming up here when we return on the Crawdads streaming network. Hollis Fanning back on the mound, bottom of the seventh.
He'd pitch for both teams.
Hollis would pitch for both and
Right.
throw a complete game on both sides. Yeah, I mean, if it was up to him, that is probably what he'd tell you he'd want to do.
Right, you know, with Holly, you'd hear the Southern drawl, and you'd hear, I play for the North, but I'm from the South.
Yeah, and I don't mind throwing for him. So Colt Lamonto, right-handed batter, stepping in, hitting .276, a home run, 12 RBIs. And the catcher, Lamonto, takes a fastball. It's 1. And Lamonto now over on third base. Now, it looked like it was going to be a double all the way. The throwback in from Tiers over to Corio at second was wide. And Lamonto was able to steal third as well.
I think if Tiers gets a good throw there, there's a chance that that ball ends up being in time at second to get Lamonto headed.
There, but misses just high. Now a tie ball game. Hollis Fanning going to look to keep it that way. Still nobody out. Wants to make sure Leopard cannot get any farther than second, although I'm sure he'll live with him getting to third. If we can get an out here against Cameron Joasis, the first baseman who's hitting .222. Big swing and a miss there. Joasis not able to connect. The count 0-1.
From behind home plate, he signed up for the Bean Boozle Challenge.
Joasis at first tonight for Sonoma, and the first baseman fouls this back, and the count 0-2. Hollis Fanning ahead in the count here, where he always likes to be. Looks like he's been heavy fastball tonight so far.
Now we haven't seen much of that big cutter that he features a lot.
Looking back to second is Fanning. Takes a second look back there. It's Fanning. Oh, Fanning definitely has it. Probably a little frustrated after giving up that RBI double to Alex Leopard. Blowing a hard one right by Joasis. And here comes Davis Kopp, the designated hitter, who's hitting 160, a home run, and 9 RBIs. Kopp has struck out 29 times, though, this season. First pitch to Kopp, and this misses low. And a bit outside, the count 1-0. Not much wind to speak of here in Sonoma tonight. Big cut, big miss there from Davis Kopp, and the count even. A ball and a strike. Hollis Fanning. It's been a great strike thrower all summer for the Crawdads. As we mentioned coming into this game, very few walks. The count even here. Knee high.
Fastball is just sizzling today.
He's painting it right now. He's throwing it very hard. You mentioned Austin. He's getting it all the way up to 94. Wonder if that'll be the high tonight. Mid-90s fastball, always a weapon. The 1-2 pitch, and goes off speed here down in the dirt. They get Kopp swinging, and there's 2 away.
So, Hollis Fanning coming into this game, his season high in strikeouts, 5. He has 4. He has gotten 5 outs, and 4 of them are by way of the strikeout.
And the other great thing about it, too, he's going right after guys. I mean, that one was down in the dirt, but and he had another pitch that was low that was swung on and missed, but they're all swinging strikeouts.
Right, if you're perfect.
Yeah, it's elite. Oh, here is Mikey Bell. First pitch to Bell. That's a fastball right there for a strike. The count 0-1. Mikey Bell, speaking of strikeouts, leads the Sonoma Stompers in terms of striking out. He's had 114 at-bats. He's struck out 31 times. Count 0-1 on him right now. That's 27% of the time he goes down on strikes. This pitch, he fouls this back into the dirt, and the count 0-2. And really, the Sonoma Stompers are a team that does strike out a lot. As a team coming into this game, right below 30% at 29%. So, I mean, that is just awfully high. It's going to be hard to win ball games when you're swinging and missing that much. The 0-2 pitch from Fanning, and a swing and a miss. Sit him down, Hollis Fanning. Wow, 3 consecutive strikeouts there after giving up an RBI double to Alex Leopard that was able to score Colton Lamonto. It is 1-1, but Fanning looking dominant right now. That's already 5 strikeouts here early. We're only through 2 innings. Top of the 3rd coming up when we return here on the Crawdads Streaming Network.
Steak bugs. Thanks a lot for playing the Bean Boozle Challenge. Brought to you by Jeff Spencer CPA. Don't get Bean Boozled by the IRS. Call Jeff Spencer.
Top of the 3rd, it's 1-1. Jude Putz leading things off. It is his birthday. He's Grandma Mimi's here. His mom's here. Got a lot of family here. Does Jude putts. So far, he's hitting 167 this summer, but been hitting the ball a lot harder lately. And I think he's starting to settle down a bit in the field. First pitch to Jude, and he fouls this out of play into the parking lot. The count 0-1.
They have audio for everything here, how prepared they are.
It's just boom, boom, boom,
Right.
boom, boom. I mean, they got like a keyboard up there. Everything's hotkeyed. The 0-2 pitch, and Putz hits this into shallow right field, but making a leaping catch is the second baseman, Reese Kent. Wow. That looked like that was going to be a little bloop for a single all the way there from Jude Putz, but Reese Kent had other thoughts and reminiscent of a play that we saw Tyson Corio make yesterday.
Reminiscent of about 4 plays we saw yesterday with the Lincoln shortstop ranging out into shallow left, and then Tyson Corio making a couple over-the-shoulder tumbling catches.
Zach Chamizo for Lincoln, he had a great one. He was just in an all-out sprint. So here's Coleman Schmidt, who's 0 for 1 today. As this pitch misses high, the count 1-0. Schmidt did take the ball deep to right center, but not deep enough. The 1-0 to Schmidt, and this misses low. Count 2-0. Good eye so far from Coleman Schmidt here in this at-bat. If you didn't hear earlier today, Coleman Schmidt, one of the all-star players from the Crawdads, along with Brian DeRoff, Ryan Ellis, Ryan Brome, Hollis Fanning, who's on the mound tonight, as well as pitcher Gabe Tanner. 2-0 pitch to Schmidt. This misses in the count 3-0.
It'd be nice if Coleman Schmidt could re-tie up that home run king leaderboard.
Sitting at 8 right now. Got number 8 yesterday. The 3-0 pitch to Schmidt, and he takes. It's a strike all the way. The count 3-1. So
Schmidt's still the leader in stolen bases. He's the leader in hits. Still second in home runs, so he's doing all right.
not too shabby.
Right. Second in triples.
Gets to go down to Compton on July 20th. Show his stuff off for the scouts. The 3-1 pitch to Schmidt, and he hits this hard but foul down the third baseline. The count runs full 3-2. Against Sonoma, Schmidt is hitting .260 with a couple of home runs, 5 RBIs. He's also stolen 3 bags against Sonoma as well. So the batting average not as high as a season batting average, but he's been effective against these Stompers. The payoff pitch to Schmidt, and he beats this into the ground, takes a few hops over to the third baseman, Bell, who...
On that play, Schmidt, the throw was there. Joasis went to tag Schmidt with the ball, and his glove got knocked off.
For the first baseman, Joasis, and he doesn't try to tag Schmidt for some reason. Everything just goes the way it should. It should be an out. It should be out number 2, but instead Schmidt ends up all the way on third.
Right, I don't think he had a choice other than to make the tag in that situation.
Pitch to Corio, misses. Count 1-0. Now the Crawdads, fortunate, they'll take it there. Schmidt still 0 for, but he's on third. As Corio takes again. And employing a good eye is Tyson Corio as he's ahead 2-0. Corio walked in the first. Eventually came around to score. The 2-0 pitch to Tyson, and just hits this foul. Trying to stay on top of the ball, but that time the barrel a little too high. Ball beat right into the grass. Count 2-1.
If a player walks 4 times in a game, are we calling it broming or tajeroing?
Well, you would say Brome because of the amount of walks he has.
But I think Tajero's 0 for 0 with 4 walks.
4
a little more
walks.
impressive.
Yeah, so we will call it Tajeroing as Corio gets into this to left field, and that ball is gone. Kiss that baby goodbye. Tyson Corio loves hitting in Sonoma. His second home run of the year. and it is now 3-1 Crawdads.
So we for a while have been saying that we think Tyson Corio does a better side, but looks pretty good there from the right side. That was just a tank from Corio.
Corio hit that up against the broadcast booth and the control booth that they use here at Arnold Field for football. That was a mammoth shot from Tyson Corio, his second home run of the year, and he now has 10 RBIs as well. Just one away here in the top of the third. It is 3-1 Crawdads after Tyson Corio's huge blast to left. The 1-1 pitch to Ellis, and Ellis gets under this, but it's a foul sign on the left field wall. I think the one to right field would maybe a little easier. Really had to muscle this one out. And the 1-2 to Ellis. Ellis hits this over towards Bell, and it stays fair. Ellis gonna round first. He's heading for second. He will have second standing up. A stand-up double for Ryan Ellis. His second hit of the game, both for 2 bags.
Man.
Well,
Ryan Ellis can just hit.
Ryan Ellis can flat out hit. Manager Brant Cummings really wanted this team to start swinging the lumber, and it looks like the message was relayed accurately and received by all of these Crawdads. They lead 3-1. Ellis in scoring position now over at second. And here's Brian DeRoff, who has an RBI single. We're still calling it an RBI single.
Somehow.
The first pitch to the righty DeRoff from the lefty Larkin is in there for a strike. The count 0-1. Still just one away here in the top of the third. On deck, Kavara's Tears. Get into a double play in his first at-bat. The 0-1 pitch, and DeRoff fouls this right into the wood that protects the DVB Insurance broadcast booth here on the road in Sonoma.
I mean, I make that play if there isn't a wall there.
I need yours. The 0-2 pitch is Leplis got caught off Corio, who went deep for his second home run of the summer and his second home run here at Arnold Field in Sonoma. So it is 3-1 Crawdads over the Stompers. Bottom of the third coming up. Hollis Fanning coming back out to pitch his third inning of work when we return here on the Crawdads streaming network. Bottom of the third inning, it is 3-1 Walnut Creek on top of Sonoma. The Crawdads getting a big 2-run home run from Tyson Corio. That is what has given them the lead. Hollis Fanning still on the mound for the Dads. He's been very good, already struck out 5, and he's retired the last 3 men he's faced, all via the punch-out. Be pretty cool to see him strike out the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the third. It'll be Reese Kent, then Tucker. Strikeouts to go around in this Sonoma lineup. Reese Kent walked 6 times and struck out 23. He's only batting 148. No home runs, 3 driven in.
So far this season, the leader in strikeouts in a game is Seth Higdon in his one start. Higgy, we miss you, first of all. It was great to have you here this summer. He had 9 in that one start. I mean,
Higdon, we do miss. And now McKenna, after checking on Pody. McKenna walks out to fan.
Pody was straight up. He pulled an Andrew McKenna. Just, I'm good.
Yeah, he said he was good. McKenna said, mean, there's no question about it. The most reliable and durable starter out of all of these Crawdads. 2-1 pitch, swung on and missed.
And I think that if Ryan Ellis had started the inning without that error, then that whole game could have played out a little differently.
2-2 pitch here to Kent. He pops this up very high. It's going to be playable for McKenna. He's looking at it and has it. Near the on-deck circle of the Stompers, there's one away.
Facing out towards the defense the entire game to then turn around and play like an outfielder. I mean, of course, there was no question that Andrew McKenna was not going to make that play. He just
so fast back there, and I think he buys himself a lot of time with how quick he is. 0-1 pitch. This hits the zone, and the count 0-2. I mean, we've already seen a toe and leopard, but that's been it.
He's just been Hollis Fanning. That's what he does best.
Throws strikes. Doesn't walk guys. The one and that coming in to make the catch is Kavares Tears from left. 2 away now in the bottom of the third. McEnroe 0 for 2.
So maybe Hollis Fanning said I struck out too many guys in the first couple innings.
He's in a few pop-outs.
Right, yeah. Soft ground balls.
Soft ground balls, lazy fly balls. Here is Nick Mueller, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging. The first pitch to Mueller, there's a fastball, and he is running it up there as Hollis Fanning right now. Young Mr. Austin Oda trying to give us a velo reading.
94.
94 miles an hour. The 0-1 pitch from Fanning, and he blows another one right by him.
94.
94 once again. The count 0-2. 2 away. Fanning, already with 5 strikeouts, has a chance for number 6. The 0-2 pitch to Mueller, and this just misses outside. And the count 1. He was planning on the 6th strikeout now for Hollis Fanning in 3 innings of work. It is 3-1 Crawdads. They'll be up to bat in the top of the 4th. Austin Oda on the play-by.
Top of the 4th inning. Welcome back to Sonoma, California, Palooza Park here at Arnold Field. The Dads, who lead 3-1 in the top of the 4th inning, will have Kavares Tears, Casey Cummings, and Andrew McKenna. 5, 6, 7 spot due up against Noah Larkin. 3 innings complete, 3 runs on 4 hits, and an error for the Crawdads.
Healdsburg. Racing runners.
The 0-1. Tears breaks his bat, flares this one into shallow right field, and coming in to make the catch is McEnroe. As I think if Tears doesn't hit that one off the fist, if he gets a little more wood on it, that ball is sailing.
So he muscled that out there into the outfield while shattering his bat. And that's tough for Kavares because last I checked, bats aren't too cheap.
Now, Casey Cummings 0 for 1, a strikeout. Larkin's first pitch. Cummings hits it high. Shallow left field. Mueller coming in, and he's going to watch it drop foul. 0-1. It'd be nice to see Casey Cummings just really get into a ball. He only has 1 extra base hit this summer.
He's been great in BP lately. He's been really working closely with hitting coach John Jensen and trying to iron out all the mechanics. I think it's there for him. He's just got to see it happen during a game, and I think as soon as he starts getting some of those positive results, it'll start to come in bunches for Cummings.
Larkin takes a deep breath. The 0-1. Cummings leaves ball 1 way up high. Cummings' double came all the way back in the 2nd game of the, of course.
Sounds like a
Speeding down the line for the 2nd out of the inning.
You know, Govea looks a little shaky out there right now at short. And he's pretty consistent for the Stompers, but he's already had one ball kind of eat him up. That one took a little time for him to gather and collect and fire, but maybe hitting in that direction is going to bear some good fruit for the Crawdads tonight.
Takes in the dirt,
Mike's
dollar
out.
off wine.
$1 off wine. But it's like $14 for a glass of wine around
Right.
here.
The 1-0. McKenna takes, called strike one, that same slider, but this time it catches the zone, and the count evens at 1. You know, I think Sonomans are fine spending their $14 for wine.
It is beautiful up here, that's for darn sure.
There are worse places you could be.
Oh.
The 1-1. McKenna takes outside and low, 2-1. Out here in wine country.
The drive up here is always nice, too. See the beautiful hills, all the grapevines.
Sure, if you're awake for that. The 2-1 to McKenna. Larkin comes set and delivers. McKenna takes a little outside, ball 3. Joe Barnhart waits on deck.
And McKenna's a guy that we're not really sure quite yet what he is in the batter's box. He just still getting into the groove of things. He's been great defensively.
The 3-1. McKenna, more importantly than it being good to see for McKenna, it's not $1 off wine.
Oh, that's
At
true,
least
too.
the Stompers have to wait another couple innings. Now Joe Barnhart, who gave the ball a ride his last time, just hit it to just about the deepest part of the yard. First pitch, Barnhart takes on the inside corner, 0-1. Tried that Burl reaction.
Lift the hands and
Double clutches, throws to first to get Barnhart by a quarter step. But it does end the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors. The Dads leave Andrew McKenna, the 2-out base runner, stranded on base. Led to the bottom of the 4th inning. 3-1 the score here on the Crawdads streaming network. Boss Slam game, Barabalt, as they call him, as we call him, the broadcaster for Sonoma, a tremendous talent. But stay here. We love having you here. Crawdads up 3-1, bottom of the 4th inning. Hollis Fanning has just been tremendous. 6 strikeouts, a season high for Hollis Fanning through his 3 innings, where he's given up a pair of hits, just 1 earned run, and surprise, surprise, hasn't walked a batter. He'll be facing 3-4-5, Alex Gavea, Colton Lamonto, and Alex Leopard. Alex Gavea got a nice applause before the game as he was announced as an all-star. Crawdads in their gray tops with grayer pants. I guess you can say dark gray tops with gray pants, black socks.
Over the past 2 years, Austin, I've always tried to find a way to describe that color. I don't
Charcoal?
know. Charcoal, graphite,
Sure.
dark graphite. I'm not charcoal. That's actually really gunmetal.
First pitch to Alex Gavea. Misses low with a big curveball, 1-0. And the Stompers in their whites. That's an easy one.
I like the white look. The white jersey with the white pants. It looks so clean. It's always classic at home.
The 1-0. High fly ball. medium deep left field. Tears takes a couple steps over to the left field line and makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
That's top of the order for the Stompers. Just, it's been rough sledding. And for the bottom of the order as well.
Right, it's been Lamonto and Leopard, and that's been all the damage.
So, yeah. So pretty much everybody except for two guys.
That's what happens when you only have 2 hits. Lamonto is one of those 2. He doubled and came around to score in his first at-bat. Fanning agrees with the catcher McKenna. The first pitch, Lamonto takes ball 1 up high, 1-0. Hollis Fanning, before the pitch, he peers straight in over his glove, leaves only room for his eye over the brim, and it's scary. 1-0, swing and a miss. McKenna emphatically punches over to his pitcher Fanning. Yeah, that was a good one.
It is intimidating. Hollis Fanning, he's tall, he's lanky.
6'7's not that tall.
Oh, yeah.
The 1-1. Fastball, called strike 2 on the outer black. 1-2.
That's what he does. He just deposits balls right into the strike zone, and if you're a batter, you just got to be ready. He's gonna pound the zone on you, so you better be ready to swing and try to make contact.
The 1-2. Strike 3 swinging. Colton Lamonto was not ready for that one. The big curveball. Hollis Fanning's 7th strikeout of the day here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Just incredible. It's there's no words for it. It's still early here. I mean, getting into the middle innings, but I mean the way that he has just been able to mow through this lineup for the most part, it's just very admirable. And this is what the Crawdads needed coming into this game on a 3-game losing streak.
Right, he's the stopper. First pitch to Alex Leopard is ball 1 as the fastball tails a little too far inside. McKenna couldn't snap it. 1-0.
Do want to inform everybody real quick, video's back on, so thanks for bearing with us.
We appreciate it. The 1-0. Leopard takes called strike 1 on the outer black. 1-1. Yeah, the Crawdads needed a stopper today, and a stopper for the Stompers.
Yeah. Kind of the perfect scenario, a get-right game. You got your get-right guy out there.
Fanning in agreement with McKenna, the 1-1. Flipped over to left field, but foul. Tears gives it a look. 1-2. Trying for strikeout number 8 now is Hollis Fanning.
The first time I've seen him shake his arm tonight.
I don't think he's tiring whatsoever.
He's just getting warm.
The 1-2 pitch. Fanning just misses a little low with the fastball. Tried painting it in there, but was unable to get the call.
I think if he fires that same pitch again, he will get that call. So Leopard better get that swing ready.
2-2, high pop-up, left side. Going over the third baseman Ellis, but it's foul off into the stands. Two and two, deuces are wild here. Fanning immediately readies. The 2-2 to Leopard. Fanning strikes him out looking. Fastball inner black. 8th strikeout for Hollis Fanning, and he is rolling. Top of the 5th coming up. 3-1 the score here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Glad you're joining us here at Palooza Park at Arnold Field. The Crawdads leading 3-1 in the top of the 5th inning. Jude Putz to lead it off for the Dads. Putz, Schmidt, Corio. Putz 0 for 1. Lined out to a leaping Reese Kent in his last at bat. First pitch, Putz takes down low, ball 1. One ball and no strikes to the Crawdads shortstop, the man out of Arkansas, the 1-0. Putz, high tapper, slowly left side foul, 1-1. Jude Putz finally starting to see that bat really start to take place, but unfortunately for him, I don't think it's going to end up showing in his numbers because of his early season struggles, but he's been really good of late. The 1-1, way up high, 2-1. And what he does is he works long at bats. He fouls a bunch of pitches off. He takes walks. 2-1 here. Larkin sets just above the belt. Putz swings through an off-speed pitch that was low. Chased it there, 2-2.
Birthday boy was going for a birthday blast right there. That was a big old cut.
2 balls, 2 strikes with no outs. Here in the top of the 5th inning. The 2-2, strike 3 swinging, high fastball, and Putz chased it up. Second strikeout of the day for Noah Larkin. And the lineup card flips over to Coleman Schmidt.
Center fielder, Coleman Schmidt.
Schmidt on the day 0 for 2. Lined out hard to deep right center his first at bat, and then hit a soft tapper to third base where Mikey Bell made an errant throw over to first. Schmidt, with his speed, was able to make it all the way over to third, where he would later be brought home by Tyson Corio's big blast. First pitch, Schmidt hits this one over to third again. Bell again up with it, throws to first, this time right to the chest of Joe Isis for the second out of the inning.
Second baseman, Tyson.
Didn't want a repeat of last time. Did the defense for the Stompers, where Schmidt was able to make it all the way to third.
Now Tyson Corio, who's had a great day so far with a home run and a walk. First pitch, Corio takes the bottom outside edge, 0-1.
We'll have to ask Tyson what he likes so much about hitting here.
As he fouls one back off the screen, 0-2.
Both his home runs this summer here in Sonoma.
We'll see what he can do on 0-2. His home run came on a 2-1 count. Larkin, the 0-2. Corio, a soft roller to short. Gavea on the run, up with it. Throws to first to get Corio by a full step. The Dads go down 1-2-3, and we'll head to the bottom of the 5th. 3-1 the score here on the Crawdads streaming network. Bottom of the 5th inning here at Arnold Field. Right in our view, the Ernie Mangentini scoreboard. Established 2018. 2016. I lied. Hollis Fanning will be facing Cameron Joisis, Davis Kopp, and Mikey Bell.
From here, 6 looks like an 8.
First pitch. High chopper left side, puts in the hole, fires off his back foot, and just a little bit late. They're off, pulled his foot off the bag either way. Would have been a tough play. It was a nice job by Putz to get over. He just couldn't make anything happen out of it.
It was a great effort by Jude to range there. Putz has great range over there, and his arms pretty darn good as well. But when all your momentum's carrying you to one side, and you got a guy booking it out of the box, kind of your only choice. Either do what Jude just did, or hopefully plant your cleat in the dirt, fire a strike over to first. But
that's what Ryan Ellis loves doing from that shortstop.
Ryan Ellis does that. Be a very difficult thing to pull off, though.
Third hit of the day for the Stompers, who trail 3-1. Pickoff move back in safely is Joasis. Davis Kopp, the Utah man, the hitter, struck out swinging in his first at bat, one of 8 for Hollis Fanning, who sets. And a pickoff move again. Joasis back in safely. Cameron Joasis doesn't look much like a guy that is a threat to steal a bag. He's not heavy by any means. He's just, he's a first baseman.
Yeah, you don't expect a first baseman to take off and run.
First pitch up high to Davis Kopp. 1-0. First time Hollis Fanning's been in the stretch since the second inning. 1-0 is the count to Davis Kopp. Fanning peers in, takes a deep breath. The 1-0. Flips back behind the screen. 1-1.
One of the things about Joyce is over there at first. UNR, Mountain West, one of the things that the teams in the Mountain West really put a premium on is athletic ability, being able to run, steal bags and stuff like that. So, just from being in that conference, you might be assuming that he does have decent speed.
1-1. Fouled back. 1-2. Joyce's last year at Nevada, 208 average in 48 at-bats. Didn't homer, had 3 doubles. No steals.
No steals,
Didn't attempt to steal. Also, didn't walk. That's almost impressive to not walk in 48 at-bats.
48 at-bats.
The 1-2. Fanning just misses a fastball up high. 2-2.
I don't know if Davis Kopp can afford to take that pitch again.
The 2-2. Popped up over past a light pole. The count will stay at 2-2. A herd of Stompers fans, Stompers kids, stomping over to the parking lot to try to retrieve that foul ball.
Sure, probably a few members of that Little League team as well. The Sonoma Bears.
Dub Bears. 2-2. Fanning to Kopp. Pickoff move. Joasis just in safely. The throw pulled Duroff off the bag, but it was almost beneficial as it led his tag right to the sliding Joasis. And the count 2-2.
So great to have a healthy Brian Duroff over there at first.
Fanning comes set, takes a deep breath. The 2-2 pitch. Kopp hits one high. Shallow left field. Tears coming in at his chest makes the catch for the first out of the inning. 1 out now, 3-1 the score. The Crawdads lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning as Mikey Bell comes to the plate. Bell struck out in his first at bat, one of the 8 so far for Fanning. Hollis Fanning just a strikeout away from tying the all-time Crawdads, or at least this iteration of the Crawdads, their single-game strikeout record.
We can call it all-time. You know what? This is the new Crawdads, the old franchise.
First pitch, Bell swings and misses, 0-1.
None of that stuff counts. This is Brant Cummings' Crawdads, and Hollis Fanning has a chance to do something special tonight.
Sitting pretty through 4 1/3 is Hollis Fanning with a runner on first. Mikey Bell, the hitter. Fanning steps off. Alon, are you tired?
It's not me, partner.
0-1.
It's the first time Hollis has stepped off all night.
0-1 to Bell. Fanning fires. Bell takes a little tight, a little high. 1-1.
So, I was going to ask you, Austin, what do you think so far about Kavaras in left? He looks very comfortable over there. We've mainly seen him in right.
Yeah, I like it out there. I think he's just an athlete who can kind of play anywhere, especially in the outfield. I know he can play a little first base, but he looks good out there. The 1-1. Bell somehow catches a piece of it off the fists. Check swing. Foul.
Almost hit Reese in the on-deck circle there.
Reese Kent, the man of 2 first names. One of many. That's my favorite bit of this entire season.
There's a lot of double first names. A lot of Ricky Bobby. That kind of thing. Ricky Bobby.
1-2 the count to Mikey Bell, of course. Talladega Nights.
Great film.
Pickoff move. Joyce's back in safely. I'm not a huge Talladega Nights guy. I'm not a big Will Ferrell guy. To each their own.
I think anybody can respect what Will Ferrell did in spring training a few years back.
Oh, absolutely. Elite baseball talent. Fanning. 1-2. Foul tipped again on the check swing. Bell trying to say it caught his hand, but no.
I think he'd be reacting a little differently had it actually caught the knuckles there. Saw that happen to Duroff about a week ago.
That was the pitch that sent her off to, you can't call it the IL.
This version of whatever the IL is in
right,
the CCL.
it's sitting for a couple days.
It's sitting in the dugout and watching everybody else, but that's why we mentioned it's so great to have him healthy over at first base tonight. And
now the umpires are going to confer about if that ball caught the edge of the bat or if it caught the hand of Mikey Bell. I mean, if you get 92 to your hand, you're reacting a little more than ow.
Yeah, if someone had a view on it besides Dean Pody behind the plate, you would think it'd be Stu Raines. Because Bell indicated that it hit his bottom hand.
And they're going to say, hey, stay right there. Well, the correct call, I believe. Not too much of an argument for Mikey Bell.
Like you mentioned, if you take 92 off the hands right there, a lot of little bones in the hand, and it'd be very painful to get hit there.
So anyone except Andrew McKenna. McKenna's the kind of guy that would catch 92. Like if that was coming up to his hand, he'd stick out his left hand and catch it.
There's a hot, warm breakfast for him.
The 1-2 pitch to Mikey Bell. Fanning's ready. He delivers. Outside with the cutter. 2-2.
Cutter is something that Fanning hasn't thrown a whole lot tonight, but starting to get more active with it here.
Two. Ground ball, third base, over the glove of Ryan Ellison into left field for a base hit for Mikey Bell.
Ellis so aggressive at fielding those hops, trying to get as close to the baseball as he can, really cut off the angle, and that time it just bounced right over his head. He's kind of grinning about it out there at third, but it had a chance to be a double play there for the Crawdads. He's motioning back into the dugout. Yeah, that's on me, and maybe should have waited that one out a little bit.
Now Reese Kent, who's 0 for 1, using Coleman Schmidt's walk-off music. It got to the point where I was looking down, and I was like, Coleman Schmidt's not hitting, is he? First pitch to Reese Kent. Fanning kicks, deals. Kent flips one foul, 0-1. Talking about Andrew McKenna being able to catch a ball with his bare hand, it reminds me of one of my favorite stories of all time about Johnny Bench, the greatest catcher of all time. Spring training one year, one of his pitchers, Jim Maloney, was throwing fastballs, and Bench was like, that's not your hardest. And Maloney was like, yeah, it is. And Bench, to prove it, caught him barehanded for a full bullpen. 0-1. Kent fouls it back to the screen, 0-2.
They don't build them like that anymore. Although
no.
I will say Hollis Fanning is of that cloth. He's cut from that similar cloth. He is just a tough customer out there, and he'll throw until his arm falls off.
And then a little more.
And then a little more.
Well, he's ahead in the count, 0-2. Fanning checks second. Delivers. Just off the outside and a touch high, 1-2. Is Johnny Bench your greatest catcher of all time?
Yeah, it's Johnny Bench.
The 1-2. Taft's foul.
Well, yeah, it's Johnny Bench, and not to get too far away from the game here, but I mean, Mike Piazza.
Piazza was all bad. He
Those
was
are
no glove.
But yeah, that's all because of his offensive
Right.
production.
So
I mean, it'd be like saying Manny Ramirez is my favorite outfielder. Like, I can't field to save his life, but he can swing a big stick.
1-2 is the count to Reese Kent. Fanning fires just off the outside, 2-2. So I think that the number 2 is Pudge Rodriguez, and in one of my coolest baseball moments ever, the Giants were playing the Cardinals as Fanning's 2-2. Popped up, right side, and shallow right. Duroff going back. Corio calls him off, makes the catch, and they had a chance to double up Bell over at first, but he was unable to get it there for the second out of the inning. So the Giants were playing the Cardinals. Buster Posey, Yadier Molina, of course, two
of the greats of that.
Right, two potential Hall of Famers, two of the best catchers of all time. And the Giants pitcher that night was Derek Rodriguez back in his rookie season. And so Pudge Rodriguez was there in attendance. Pudge Rodriguez, Yadi Molina, and Buster Posey were all in this about 100 feet of each other. It was just phenomenal.
3 of the greatest catchers of all time.
Tucker McEnroe, first pitch, runners go. McKenna's throw goes to third, and it's a little late. In safely is Joasis. Well, maybe there was reason to be worried about him.
Yeah. It's just kind of a hallmark of that league. There's so many players who are very fast, and probably has to do with a lot of the fields they play on. Just play with a ton of speed, so might as well exploit it.
Second and third now, 2 outs. Fanning in a little bit of a jam, trying to get out.
Oh, and baseball rolls onto the field.
Well, who was that?
That was a Crawdad that did that.
Horrible. These Crawdads.
Maybe trying to get Hollis Fanning a little extra moment there to recollect himself.
2 outs, runners on second and third, 3-1 the score.
Yeah, these darn dads.
Tucker McEnroe ahead in the count, 1-0. The leadoff hitter who's 0 for 2. Fanning delivers a fastball outside, 2-0. Fanning doesn't want to walk anyone, of course. 2-0. Called strike 1. Joasis dancing off third, trying to get Fanning's attention.
I know Hollis has employed the cutter a bit more here this half inning, but I'd like to see him get back to that big fastball and just challenge guys.
2-1. Fanning kicks, deals. High chopper, back to the mound on the third base side. Fanning tries to barehand it. He can't. His throw to first is late. And reaching base is Tucker McEnroe. We'll see if it's credited as a hit or an error. And it's 3-2. They do give Hollis Fanning an error on that one.
That's rough. Govea has a play earlier where it looked like a clear error. It's awarded a hit. This one a little harder of a play to be made there by the very tall pitcher Hollis Fanning.
First pitch. Line drive, left field, and it's going to drop in front of Tiers and bring in the tying run. Nick Mueller just dumps one into left field, and the game is all tied up. It's 3 apiece. Mueller's
Mueller's first RBI of the summer, and a big one, especially after striking out twice in his previous 2 at-bats.
Now Hollis Fanning in a jam. Runners on first and second, and arguably the best player on this team, Alex Gavea, the hitter, although he is 0 for 2. Flew out in his last at-bat to Tears and left, also struck out swinging in the first inning. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. The game all tied up at 3 apiece. Fanning in agreement with McKenna. Sets. Takes a deep breath. The first pitch. Fastball outside, return throw to first, and back in safely is Nick Mueller as McKenna tried to backdoor him a little bit. 1-0.
Can tell the Crawdads really trying to get this third out here for Hollis Fanning, because see the back pick attempt there by McKenna. We've seen some throws across the diamonds trying to steal an out.
The 1-0. In the dirt. Ball 2. Retrieved by McKenna. 2-0. High chopper. Puts over his head. It took a wild bounce. The go-ahead run's going to score. Wow. Just some tough luck for Hollis Fanning to induce the ground ball he needed. And it just took a huge bounce over the head of Jude Putz. Hollis Fanning's laughing about it. I mean, he knows there's nothing he can do about it.
And there was nothing Jude Putz could have done about that either. I mean, it looked like he was right in position to make that play and hit a tough patch of dirt. Took a really tough hop.
Now Holly already at 82 pitches. Long 5th inning for him. And the Stompers lead 4-3. Runners on first and second. Gavea's the runner on first. Mueller's the runner on second. Joisis, Bell, and McEnroe all come in to score. Fanning sets the first pitch. Fastball, heavy one, swung on and missed by Lamonto. 0-1.
And that might just fire up Hollis Fanning here. Going right back to the big heavy heater.
The 0-1. Swing and a miss on a fastball. 0-2.
I wonder what he's going to throw here. Hollis looks a little angry.
We'll see what he can do. Gavea on first, Mueller on second. 0-2 the count. 4-3. The Stompers have taken the lead here in the bottom of the 5th. Fanning kicks and deals. Strike 3 swinging. Just went over the fastball. 9 strikeouts for Hollis Fanning, but that might be the end of the day for him. The Stompers score 3 times on 4 hits. They leave 2 runners on base. Led to the top of the 6th inning. 4-3 the score. The Stompers lead here on the Crawdads streaming network.
Let's see what's happening.
top of the 6th inning. Well, I think it's the top of the 6th inning. But a new pitcher in, and immediately some confusion out on the field. It looks like Mikey Bell might be going to be taken out of the game, and he is. That pitch that hit him on the hand, just a little too tough to deal with, it looks like. He was pointing to that finger. And so a new third baseman's going to have to come in. We'll let you know who it is when we come back here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. All right, all the confusion all sorted up. As Connor Blau in the game, he'll be in right field. Tucker McEnroe moves to second base. Reese Kent moves from second to third. Mikey Bell out of the game. First pitch to Ryan Ellis, and it's fouled back behind the plate and off the catcher's hand. And that's a tough one to swallow. He is. Ouch.
We saw Davis Kopp take a really tough one here weeks ago, and now the backstop for the Stompers tonight. Lamonto, ow.
Got right over the shin guard, it looks like.
And Ellis is talking to him about it. Something Ellis probably knows about, being a
Catcher-ish.
He is a catcher. Catcher-ish, yeah.
Super utility man.
Super utility man.
0-1.
Could be a new superhero.
Sullivan delivers. Ellis takes down low. The new pitcher, Ian Sullivan, has pitched in 5 games so far, 6 1/3 innings, 8 strikeouts, 3 hits, 2 walks, 5.68 ERA. Does have a save that came against the Crawdads on June 22nd. The 1-1. Ellis, towering pop-up, shallow center. Leopard circles under it and settles and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So Sullivan gets out number 1 the first time today that Mr. Ryan Ellis is retired.
Now back, first baseman Brian Duroff.
First pitch fouled off. Oh, and 1. Oh, 1 misses outside to Duroff. 1-1.
Sullivan looking for that breaking ball on the outer half. Not able to paint it.
The 1-1 to Brian Duroff. Sullivan fires, and Duroff softly lines it foul. 1-2.
Duroff's been doing a lot of cage work lately since he's come back after hurting his hand. Trying to get that swing consistent again.
1-2. Duroff right on it, fouls it back to the screen.
Mighty rip there.
Sullivan takes a deep breath. Now the 1-2. Duroff, it runs in and hits him. Got him on the back, right on the number, and Duroff's on base. A hit by pitch.
So what is up with this? Guy comes back for the Crawdads, and it's almost they're obliged to get hit by a
Right.
pitch. We've seen it happen to Jack Ben Shoshan, now Brian Duroff.
Well, we'll see if the Crawdads can get anything out of Brian Duroff, who's on first. Kavares Tears at the plate. Tears 0 for 2. Sullivan checks Duroff on first. Now comes Set, a high set, shakes his leg, the first pitch to Tears. High drive, deep left center, going back, Leopard, right in front of the track, makes the catch on the run for the second out of the inning. Tears gave it a ride out to left center, but it hung up just long enough.
Seen a couple of balls hit out that way. Corio was able to go deep in that vicinity, but even the very strong Kavares Tears not able to put enough of charge into that ball. Leopard, a great job tracking it down.
Now Casey Cummings, who's 0 for 2. First pitch. Called strike one, a big curveball. 4-3, the Crawdads trail now after a 3-run bottom of the 5th inning by the Stompers. Brian Duroff, the runner on first, with Casey Cummings at the plate. Sullivan. The 0-1. Cummings skies this ball, shallow right field. The new right fielder, Blau, coming in, and he makes the catch, loses the hat, but gets the ball instead. A nice little reward for him there. Come into the game, catch a pop-up for the third out of the inning. The Crawdads strand a runner, will head to the bottom of the 6th. 4-3 the score here on the Crawdads streaming network. Bottom of the 6th inning here at Arnold Field. Hollis Fanning back out on the bump, though he did struggle in his last frame. Of course, only one of the runs he allowed was earned, and I know he begged. Well, you know, I don't think he begged to come back out. I think if he gives you the look, that's, hey, I'm coming back out. You're not saying anything if you're John Delmore. Jack Delmore, excuse me. Alex Leopard, the hitter, 1 for 2 with a strikeout. First pitch, a little low, 1-0.
Fanning so far at 86 pitches.
The 1-0, fouled back to the screen.
I think he has that hard limit at 100.
The 1-1. Chopper to second base. Corio on 2 hops. Sidearms to first in time to get the out. 1 out. Crawdads trailing 4-3 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Cameron Joasis, the hitter. 1 for 2 today with a strikeout and a single. First pitch taken below the belts, 1-0. Fanning working quickly, as he usually does. The 1-0, swing and a miss. Big curveball, 1-1.
Haven't seen that curveball too much tonight. Looked pretty good there.
Fanning kicks, delivers, cutter, strike 2 swinging. 1-2 the count to Cameron Joasis. Hollis Fanning trying to etch his name in the record books of Crawdads history. The 1-2, pop up behind the plate. McKenna gives it a look, but it's foul.
He goes with the curveball, then he can go low 80s, or high 80s, excuse me, with the cutter, and then if he really wants to, he can ramp it up 94 tonight with a fastball. Looks like all the tools in the tool belt are available for Hollis Fanning.
The 1-2. Line drive, left field, and Tears ranges over, makes the catch on the run, right next to the line for the second out of the inning. Nice play.
Just a great read off of the bat there by Kavares Tears in left. Took a perfect route to the ball. Didn't even get into a full sprint there to go get it.
Now Davis Kopp, who's 0 for 2. First pitch, Fanning nods his head and fires. Up high, ball 1. Good 1-0. Cutter misses in, 2-0. Fanning has to come in here, yet to walk a batter so far today. The 2-ball pitch. Line drive, right field, Cummings over and in. Reaches up just above the shoe tops and makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. So, no record for Hollis Fanning. That's likely the end of his day, but boy, if that's it, he was tremendous. We'll head to the top of the 7th. Alonda say back on play-by-play with Crawdads trailing 4-3.
Top of the 7th inning, the Crawdads down by a run. It is 4-3 Sonoma here at Arnold Field in Sonoma, California. Andrew McKenna going to lead things off. Still Sullivan on the mound in relief of Noah Larkin. It's McKenna, Barnhart, and Putt, 7, 8, and 9. McKenna 1 for 2. And the first pitch misses. The count 1-0. And there's a new catcher in the game. It is Jack Gallagher. Oh, no more Colton Lamonto. Already a few changes here this evening now for Sonoma as this pitch is in there. The count 1-1. Boy, it really feels like the Crawdads have been on the road quite a bit, especially lately. No rest for the weary. Back on the road tonight here in Sonoma. The 1-1 pitch, and McKenna takes high, and the count 2-1. Over the past week, including tonight's trip to Sonoma, I mean, get this. The Crawdads have traveled 1,140.9 miles.
Light work.
Yeah, light work. McKenna fouls this. Back into the cage. Count 2-2, but the massive road trip down south, then 2 straight games in Solano. Even though that's on a bus ride, it's still a commute. Coming up here, going to Healdsburg. A lot of time on the road for these dads. The 2-2 pitch, and McKenna hits this hard, but on the ground over to the shortstop, Govea, who throws the first just in time to get McKenna, who was hustling out of the box. A 1 out in the top of the 7th. The Crawdads do not want to spoil what had been just a wonderful start by Hollis Fanning. And here's Joe Barnhart, who's 0 for 2. Barnhart hits this into center. And unfortunately for Barnhart, Leopard able to make a play on it for round number 2.
So some really good at-bats for Joe Barnhart today. He's hitting the ball really hard, just can't get anything out of it.
Number 4, Jude Putz.
So here is Jude Putz, the birthday boy, still looking for a birthday hit. He's 0 for 2 this evening. And he takes the first pitch in. Has to lean out of the way, the count 1-0. This pitch in there. Count even. Two-way here. The 1-1 pitch to Putz, and this misses high. The count 2-1. Sullivan has really only had one bad game this summer. That's why the ERA is high. That was against the OC Riptide, non-division opponent. And this pitch runs in and hits Jude. Putz tosses the bat. He's being patted on the back by home plate umpire Dean Pody. Make sure he's okay. Putz is, and he'll take first base.
Well, you know what HBP stands for, right?
Hit by pitch?
Happy birthday pitch.
Happy birthday pitch. I don't think that's the gift that Jude wanted today. Well, he gets to wear that as a badge of honor along with Brian DeRoff, who's also been beamed this evening. And the lineup card turns over. It's Coleman Schmidt. Schmidt still hitless. Although has been on base once because of an error. And the first pitch to Schmidt is a fastball that misses. And the count 1-0. With how hot Schmidt has been at times during this summer, he's been incredibly streaky over about the past 2.5 to 3 weeks. The 1-0 pitch to Coleman, and he pops this up very high. Looking at it is Joasis, right behind the first base bag. And he puts a squeeze on it for out number 3. So the Crawdads are able to get Jude Putz on after he's hit with a pitch, but he's stranded over at first. It is still 4-3 Sonoma. Bottom of the 7th coming up. We'll return here on the Crawdads streaming network. Bottom of the 7th inning, there's a new pitcher on the mound for the Crawdads. It's the righty, Nate Nordell, coming in to relieve Hollis Fanning, who had an excellent start. 6 innings pitched, gave up 6 hits, 1 earned run, 4 runs overall. Didn't walk anybody and tied a Crawdads franchise record at 9 strikeouts in an outing. So congratulations to you, Hollis Fanning, and Nordell coming in to try to make sure that Fanning does not get the decision on the wrong side of the ledger tonight, but the Crawdads do trail by 1. It is 4-3 Sonoma. Nordell comes in 1-0 with a 1.80 ERA. This is his 9th appearance. All of the 8 previous appearances were out of the bullpen. He's thrown 15 innings, struck out 11, and walked 4. Pitch here, and Nordell fires a strike in. And the count 0-1. So it's Connor Blau in the batter's box, Blau wearing number 23. The 0-1 pitch, this runs in and misses in, and the count a ball and a strike. Blau, sophomore from Loyola Marymount, came into this game because of the injury to Mikey Bell. Bell was hit on the hands. The 1-1 pitch, and Blau takes here. Thought about swinging, but checked up. And the count 1-2. Blau this summer hitting 200 in 35 at-bats. 2 home runs, though, and 3 RBIs. The 1-2 pitch from Nordell, and this is hit and is blocked by Duroff off of first. He's able to recover and take the ball to the bag for out number 1.
That's what I always liked about playing first base, is that you could really just knock the ball down and keep it close enough to be able to make a play. Andrew McKenna's laughing at that one.
Yeah, McKenna finds that comical. So here is Reese Kent, who is now at third base, started tonight over at second. No switches yet for the Crawdads. Kent 0 for 2. Watches the first pitch go by for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch from Nordell Breaking ball that misses high, and the count 2-0. We mentioned how there have been a few changes already for the Stompers tonight as this pitch is hit on the ground over to Ellis off of third. He's up with it, throws to Duroff. A bit of a high throw, but Duroff able to stay on the bag for out number 2. But Gallagher in the game catching. Kent had to move over to third. What is interesting tonight about Sonoma, no Sharpio, no Duffalo. 2 guys that we usually see when the Crawdads come up here. Oh, here is Tucker McEnroe into the batter's box. And the first pitch, good for strike number 1. Nordell, there's no other way to put it. He's a strike thrower. He comes out of the pen ready. He works quickly. And he's not going to fool around. The 0-1 pitch to McEnroe, that finds the zone, and the count 0-2. Don't want to say that the Crawdads pitching staff is thin, but losing some arms throughout the summer. The 0-2 pitch, and this misses outside, and the count 1-2. But Nordell has been so great. He's been here, and he's been able to be very consistent for Brant Cummings. Definitely a guy who can be relied upon. The 1-2 pitch, and looking for a strike call in the inner half was Nordell. Does not get it. The count 2-2.
2 straight pitches in that same spot. Nordell wanted one of them.
Nordell has a sign from McKenna. McKenna setting up outside. The 2-2 pitch, and this misses high. The count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Nordell, not a guy that walks a lot of batters. Only 4 this summer, and 2 of those came in his last outing where he went 3 innings and was definitely a little tired in the 3rd frame.
Payoff pitch to McEnroe. McEnroe swings, hits this over to short. Putz has it, throws on to first, and they get McEnroe for out number 3. Nordell does his job out of the bullpen in relief of Hollis Fanning. Able to put up a scoreless bottom of the 7th. It is still 4-3 Sonoma. Top of the 8th coming up when we return here on the Crawdads streaming network. Top of the 8th inning. Tyson Corio up to bat. There's a new pitcher on the mound for the Stompers. It's Joshua Medina, and the funky cold Medina fires in a pitch here that's fouled away by Corio. Medina is a position player. He's only pitched once so far this summer, Austin, and that was 2 outs. He was able to record against the West Coast Kings on July 10th. Now, even though he's got a perfect ERA, you would think that this would be the guy that the Crawdads can get after here as the count 1-1 after Medina misses low. It's Corio Ellis and Brian DeRoff. Corio had a 2-run homer earlier this evening. Back in the third, and he takes low once again. The count 2-1.
I think it would be big if Corio could get on to lead this inning off. Send it to Ryan Ellis, who's had a great day. Brian DeRoff, who's seeing the ball well, as he always does.
The 2-1 pitch to Corio, and he hits this on the ground onto the right side. It's picked up by McEnroe, who's newly inserted at second, and he's able to flip on to first for out number 1. First action for McEnroe over there in terms of a ball being hit his way. So here comes Ryan Ellis. Corio now 1 for 3.
The offense that looked like it was going to be so good this game after Corio's solo or 2-run shot really felt like it was the facilitator for that, but the Dads have been held hitless since Andrew McKenna's single all the way back in the 4th.
Yeah, it's definitely cooled off here. Ellis watches this go by for a ball. But this team very good at scoring late. Today they got things started early. The 1-0 pitch, and that's in there for a strike. One of the things Manager Cummings said coming into this game was the guys got to get the bats off their shoulders. They got to swing. They got to be aggressive. The 1-1 pitch, Ellis, good eye. As this misses low and away, and the count 2-1.
If Ellis gets on base, especially when you don't have more of a traditional pitcher pitching, there's always a chance that he'll try to take off for second. I think it would be very beneficial to the Crawdads if he were able to reach in any capacity.
The 2-1 pitch to Ellis, and this misses low. He's in a hitter's count now, 3 balls and a strike. Ellis has no problems hitting the ball here, already 2 doubles today on June 9th. He was very good against the Stompers as well. Had a monster home run. The 3-1, and this is foul-tipped back in to the home plate umpire, Dean Pody. That was that June 9th game that finally got resolved.
I'm going to call...
What do you call it? Do you call it the June 9th game?
I've decided what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call that Crawdad Premium.
Crawdad Premium. So in that game officially, Ellis had a home run.
But it took so long for that game to be completed that Ellis's numbers weren't looking great for a while.
No, they were not. Although he's been very hot lately, the second best hitter on the Dads in the last 7 days, hitting .364 coming into this game over that stretch. And he checks his swing here, and he draws a walk. There is an appeal down to Brad Murda over at third. But from our vantage point, we can clearly see that Ellis did not break the plane, and Brad Murda agrees with both Austin and myself.
Well, he didn't go, but Ellis kind of faked it, and then he made it. He checked his swing. He probably didn't go. It could have gone either way, but immediately tossed the bat. Nope, I'm on first. If I'm there before you, I'm safe.
So Ellis draws his 22nd walk this season for the Crawdads, and now it's Brian DeRoff at the plate with Ellis off of first. DeRoff goes after the first pitch he sees here and fouls it away. The count 0-1.
Brian DeRoff doesn't love that these low-speed pitchers. He's a guy that feasts on high velocity, so with Garcia throwing in the low 8s, DeRoff steps up in the box.
The 0-1 pitch, and DeRoff pops this up very high behind home plate. Gallagher looking at it, and he has it for the out. Unproductive at-bat there by the cleanup hitter for the Crawdads. So he pops out behind home plate, and he throws the bat into the dugout. Not happy, but Kavara's Tears going to try to pick DeRoff up here as he steps into the box. Tears hit into a double play in the first, flew out in the fourth, and also hit a ball that was caught by Leopard in center in the sixth. Oh, Tears looking to strike a ball here. This pitch misses, and sliding in, no, not safely, is Ryan Ellis. The throw from Gallagher on line over to second. A great tag applied by Govea, and Ellis has gone down. Manager Brant Cummings is jogging over to umpire Brad Murda to go have some words with him about this call. Ellis is standing there as if this could get reversed. We're going to hold here for a moment until the conversation between Mr. Murda and Mr. Cummings is over. Well, Ellis has the helmet off. He's still standing at second. Guevara's Tears is still standing in the box. The Stompers have left the field. And now Ryan Ellis is officially out. So the Crawdads coming out to play some defense now. Top of the 8th is over. Bottom of the 8th coming up soon. It is still 4-3. Ellis able to get on base, but he's thrown out trying to steal second. A nice throw from Jack Gallagher, who's in to catch for Colton Lamonto, who's not able to finish the game, but a good job by Gallagher. And the Crawdads still trail by a run. So once again, 4-3, bottom of the 8th coming up here on the Crawdads streaming network. Bottom of the 8th inning, it's Nick Mueller, then Alex Govea, and Colton Lamonto. So Mueller, Govea, Lamonto, first pitch to Mueller. He hits just far down the left field line, but far foul. And the count 0-1. Still Nordell on the mound for the Crawdads, who trail by 1. It is 4-3 Stompers. Crawdads came into this game trying to snap a 3-game losing streak, but they're down by a run. The 0-1 pitch, and this hits off of home plate. The count 1-1. Little off target there with the breaking ball was Nordell. Wind starting to kick up a little bit here at Arnold Field. 88 at first pitch. It's cooled down by about 10, 12 degrees. This pitch misses in, and the count 2-1. Looking for the fastball in the inner half there was Nordell. The 2-1 pitch, and this misses in. So after that foul ball, 3 straight misses from Nordell. And the Crawdads, who are 4 games back of Healdsburg and 2 games in front of Lincoln, trying to keep the score 4-3 right now after Nordell able to fire a strike, and the count runs full, 3-2. These are the games that the Crawdads have to win if they want to punch their ticket to San Luis Obispo. The 3-2 pitch, this is popped up high, but foul out of play. The count stays full. Crawdads 1-6 in their last 7. The payoff pitch, and this misses away. Nordell issues a walk to Nick Mueller. Mueller now is 1 for 3 with a walk. Also had an RBI in the 5th. And here comes the shortstop, Alex Govea, who's 1 for 3 with an RBI single in the 5th. He was one of the many men who was struck out by Hollis Fanning. The only Stompers not retired on strikes by Fanning were McEnroe and Kent. This pitch misses, gets away from McKenna. And the runner, Mueller, advances over to second. Nordell looks back to second and fires the 1-0 pitch. This is jammed over to Corio, just on the outfield grass. He's able to make the catch for out number one. That was much needed by Nordell.
Yeah, nice first out there, able to get Gavea off the fists.
Elsewhere around the CCL, the OC Riptide were victorious against the Conejo Oaks in a game at Sparky Anderson Field at Cal Lutheran in Thousand Oaks. They won 8-1, did the Riptide. The Arroyo Seco Saints lost to the San Luis Obispo Blues in San Luis Obispo. The Blues won 7-6. As here is Jack Gallagher. Gallagher takes a first pitch fastball in the inner half for strike number one. The Academy Barons are down 12-0 at Pershing Park in Santa Barbara against the Foresters. The Prune Packers beaten up on the Novato Knicks 14-4 in Healdsburg. Top of the ninth. The 0-1 pitch, and this is spiked, a fastball, but a good job blocking it, getting the body in front of it there by McKenna. The count 1-1. The Lincoln Potters are leading the Solano Mudcats 8-2 in the bottom of the seventh at McBean Stadium up in Lincoln. And right here, right now, with a 1-1 pitch on the way with one away and a runner on second, the Crawdads trail the Stompers 4-3 in the bottom of the eighth. There's a good fastball by Nordell, able to fire it back through the zone there, past the bat of Jack Gallagher. And the count 1-2. Gallagher came in for Lamonto. Lamonto took one off the shins earlier behind home plate. And the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. A strikeout for Nate Nordell. That catcher spot has now struck out 3 times this evening. 2 owned by Hollis Fanning, 1 now for Nordell. And Gallagher is out of there. So still a runner at second. It's Nick Mueller. And here comes Alex Leopard, who was 1 for 3, had an RBI double in the second, struck out in the fourth, grounded out 4-3 in the sixth. This pitch, beautifully framed, looked a little low initially, but McKenna able to just move it up just a little bit in the mitt by the strike call for Nordell. The count 0-1.
I think Nate Nordell earned that strike there.
The 0-1 pitch, and that's in there for a strike. The count 0-2. Even though Leopard lifted the hands, acted like it was far in, it was not. Oh, Nordell with a chance to get out of a situation where he has Mueller just off of second. The 0-2 pitch. This is hit on the ground. Duroff goes into a dive, has it, throws to the covering Nordell, and it's low, but Nordell hangs on to it and stays on the bag for out number 3. Him and Brian Duroff, they're going to high five here. What a play turned by both the diving first baseman, Brian Duroff, and Nordell to dig that ball out. So, after 8, it is still 4-3, a 1-run ball game. The last chance for the Crawdads coming up when we return here from Arnold Field on the Crawdads streaming network. Top of the ninth inning, the Crawdads down by a run. Sonoma leads 4-3. It's going to be Kavares Tears leading things off. There is a new pitcher for the Stompers. Coming in to close things down is Jake McCoy, who's made 2 appearances so far this summer, but he is an outfielder. Comes in with a 7.71 ERA and 2 1/3 innings pitched, 1 strikeout, 2 walks, 3 hits. The last time he pitched was against the Prune Packers on July 13th. Pitched 1 inning but gave up 2 runs, both earned. So the first pitch to Tears, and this misses. It's dropped by Gallagher behind home plate, and the count 1-0. On deck is Joey Donnelly, so he's going to pinch hit for Casey Cummings. Not sure if Andrew McKenna will hit. He's in the hole right now. But it's 1-0 to Kavares Tears. And Tears hits this right back up the middle. It lands in center field, and that's a leadoff single for the Crawdads. That's exactly how they needed to get this half inning started off. And they have a runner on first, and here comes Joey Donnelly.
Well, if there's any time for Joey Donnelly to get off the schneid, I think this would be a good one.
This would be the time. Let's see if he can answer the call. The lefty Donnelly against the righty McCoy, the outfielder turned pitcher here. Donnelly comes in hitting .220, but a lot of power, 4 home runs, 18 RBIs. The pitch to Donnelly misses outside, the count 1-0. Donnelly has been in a slump.
1 for 26.
1 for 26. Just turned into that page in my notes, but yeah, 1 for 26. The 1-0 pitch, and Donnelly hits this high into right field, but under it is the right fielder, Connor Blau, for out number 1. Donnelly thought that ball might have the distance, 345 out there to the fence, but caught on the warning track by Connor Blau.
Gave it a ride. That's all you can ask for in that
That's
situation.
That's all you can do. So Andrew McKenna is not going to be pinch hit for. He's 1 for 3 so far tonight. His hit back in the 4th, and for the Crawdads, before Kavares Tears single, that was the last hit that they had. First pitch to McKenna misses up, the count 1-0. Out of McCoy, you can pretty much just expect fastball, fastball, fastball with differing velocity on it. Not a pitcher by trade, but has pitched twice so far this summer for the Stompers. The 1-0 pitch, and this misses low, the count 2-0. McKenna does not mind taking a walk here. There's one away, but Tears has a lead off of first. Being held on by Joseas. The pitch misses low. And the count 3-0.
Take.
There's no reason to swing here. McKenna should be taking all the way, even if it's perfect on a tee for him. The 3-0 pitch to McKenna. Kavares takes off for second, and he has a clean steal of second, and it doesn't matter at any rate as the pitch missed. And McKenna draws the walk.
Well, the Dads are in business. They have 2 runners on. I mean,
it's been a situation they've been in the last couple of days with runners on, not able to score, and now there's going to be a meeting on the mound. McCoy just entered in.
So the Stompers do have Daniel Smith, one of their usual starters, warming up in the bullpen. I wonder if they'll, and it looks like they're going to keep McCoy in to face Barnhart. Barnhart's had some of the best at-bats of the Crawdads hitters today.
McCoy is going to stay in, have to do battle with Joe Barnhart. Do want to mention the final line for Medina, who came in and fired an inning. Scoreless ball, walked 1, faced 3. It's going to be Joe Barnhart, the designated hitter, who's 0 for 3 tonight, righty against righty, a couple of runners on. The first pitch to Barnhart misses high, the count 1-0. Barnhart, so much power. He is such a strong man. It's just about him getting good wood on the baseball. This pitch misses low and away, and the count 2-0.
And if I'm Barnhart here, what I'm doing is taking 6 straight balls. You can't afford to hit into a double play here to really give up an out in this situation.
Force Mr. McCoy to throw a strike. That's what Barnhart's going to do. The 2-0 pitch to Joe, and he takes, and this gets away from Gallagher. Both runners advance a bag. So now both runners in scoring position. Kavares Tears moves up to third, and Andrew McKenna at second.
Well, that's massive.
That's huge. Now, the infield, you would think in a one-run game, is going to press up a little bit here, although they did come up, and now they start retreating to the lip of the dirt and the grass. So Barnhart ahead, 3-0. The pitch to Barnhart, that's in there just to get me over fastball from McCoy. And the count, 3 balls and a strike.
It's tough to know what Barnhart's going to do here. I think if he gets a fat pitch to sit on, he's going to take it.
The 3-1 to Barnhart. He takes a big rip, but not able to convert on that pitch. The count 3-2. So it's full here to Barnhart. Runners on second and third. Kavares Tears 90 feet away from home plate. McKenna over at second. Jude Putz on deck. 1 away. The payoff pitch to Barnhart. He hits this on a line straight to the first baseman, Josias, who makes a wonderful play, able to spear it out of the air. And that's out number 2. Tough break for Joe Barnhart. Hit that ball pretty hard. Lined it right to Josias. And there's 2 away. So Jude Putz,
Wouldn't this be something?
on his birthday, has a chance to be a hero here. The tying run at third. It is 4-3 Sonoma. McCoy, the outfielder by trade, called on to close this game down for Sonoma. The first pitch to Jude Putz. He gets into it, hits it high, but into right field. And under it is Connor Blau, who has it for out number 3. The Stompers are able to defeat the Crawdads by a score of 4-3 tonight. The Crawdads had 2 runners in scoring position with 1 away. Maybe some bad luck from Barnhart there, hitting a ball on the screws, but right at Josias, and then Jude Putz not able to find some open green there as that ball hung up long enough for Blau to catch it. So the Crawdads fall. Once again, the 4th game in a row that they have lost. They are now on a 4-game losing streak. A team that was so hot for what seemed like such a long time, and at one point only half a game back of Healdsburg. Drops a game here to Sonoma, a team that they had beat 4 out of the 5 times that they had played. They are now 4-2 against Sonoma. The final line score, the Sonoma Stompers, who are victorious, 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. The Crawdads, the Walnut Creek Crawdads, 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors. The Crawdads were able to get a run in the first, then 2 off the bat of Tyson Corio, who was able to hit his 2nd home run of the summer in the 3rd inning and drive in a couple of runs. That was in the top of the 3rd, but that was it. That was all the scoring that the Crawdads had in them. 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors. Unfortunately for the Crawdads, Hollis Fanning is tagged with the loss. The win goes to Noah Larkin. He is now 2-3. The save goes to Jake McCoy, who collects his first save of the summer. And Hollis Fanning, the loser, is now 1-2 this season, even though he only gave up 1 earned run. But Hollis Fanning, there is a positive here for the Crawdads. Fanning was able to strike out 9, tie a franchise record for the Crawdads, one that Daniel Garza was able to achieve last summer. And Hollis Fanning was just excellent. But the Crawdads need to figure out what is going on offensively. They just have not been able to get anywhere near that 7-run mark, aside from a 16-3 blowout of the Solano Mudcats and 6 runs put up against the San Luis Obispo Blues last Sunday. The offense has just been very runners into scoring position. They've had runners on base, but they have not been able to drive them home. Games left this summer for the Crawdads. They are still in 2nd place. But offensively, things are going to need to pick up for manager Brant Cummings in this squad if they want to make it to San Luis Obispo. So once again, the final score 4-3, Sonoma victorious. Going to update you on the rest of the scores around. Healdsburg just finished their game with the Novato Knicks. 14-4, the victory for the Prune Packers, a non-CCL game. And the Sonoma Stompers victorious here tonight. The game started at 6:17, and it ended at 8:47. Final time of game, 2 hours and 30 minutes. And the Crawdads drop a fourth straight game. They now are 19-15 overall, 12-10 in CCL North play. The Stompers improved their record to 12-23 overall and 8-18 in CCL North play. For Austin Oda, I'm Alon to say thank you for joining us tonight. Hope everybody has a great Saturday evening, and we'll see you tomorrow from Danville, California at high noon.